Today we're going to talk about dimensional analysis. Dimensional analysis is a mathematical way of converting from one measurement unit to another. This will take you through the first few chapters of your textbook, but the strategy can also be used to convert things like IV rates and some other things that we'll see later on in the textbook. Let's go ahead and start with a few simple examples. For our first example, we're going to start by converting 24 inches to feet. I'm starting with one that you're probably familiar with. We're going to use that equivalent that says that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So 12 inches equals 1 foot. When I'm doing dimensional analysis, I start with the given information on the left. I'm going to work through the conversion. On the other side of the equal sign, I'm going to end up with the correct answer in feet. I'll take the given information of 24 inches and multiply it by a fraction using the equivalent 12 inches equals 1 foot. I want to cancel the inches, so I put the 12 inches in the denominator and the 1 foot in the numerator. This allows me to cancel inches. I'm left with the measurement that I want. My units are now feet. And the numbers that I'm left with are a 24 in the numerator and a 12 in the denominator. But just doing some simple arithmetic, we know that 24 divided by 12 is 2, giving us the answer of 2 feet. Let's look at one that's a little more complicated. In the second example, we're going to convert 2 hours to seconds. To convert to seconds, we need several unit equivalents. To get from hours to minutes, we know that in 1 hour, there are 60 minutes, and in 1 minute, there are 60 seconds. That's going to allow us to work from hours to minutes, and then minutes to seconds. Again, I start with the given information on the left. I'm going to work my way through, put an equal sign here, and on the other side, I need to end up with seconds, which is the desired units. Using my dimensional analysis, I'll multiply by the first fraction using one of my equivalents. I want to cancel hours, so I put hours in the denominator to cancel with the hour from the 2, and then the equivalent 60 minutes in the numerator. Notice how I can cancel the hours and I'm left with minutes at this point. But I don't want minutes, we want seconds. So I again multiply by a second fraction. Now I want to get minutes to seconds. So I use the equivalent here that says 1 minute equals 60 seconds. I put the minutes in the denominator so I can cancel with the numerator, and the 60 seconds goes in the numerator. As we continue to cancel, we can now cancel the minutes, one's on top and one's on the bottom, and we're left with the unit that we wanted, which is seconds. The numbers that we have left are a 2, a 60, and a 60. We multiply all of those. 2 times 60 times 60. Multiplying those through, 60 times 60 is... As we continue with our
Let's convert 10 grams to teaspoons. So I need to use the equivalents that are listed in the brown box on the first page of your textbook. Working down to the middle of that box, we see the equivalents that we need. There are 4 milliliters in 1 dram and 5 milliliters in 1 teaspoon. We can't go directly from drams to teaspoons, but instead we'll go from drams to milliliters and then milliliters over to teaspoons. Starting with the given information of 10 drams, I start the dimensional analysis. I know I need drams in the denominator. Looking at my equivalents, I can go from 1 dram to 4 milliliters. I can cancel the drams. I'm left with milliliters. Multiplying again, remember we want teaspoons, so I'm going to use the fact that there are 5 milliliters in 1 teaspoon.
We need the milliliters in the denominator to cancel with the milliliters that we're left with here. So I'll do 5 milliliters in the denominator and 1 teaspoon in the numerator. Notice how I can cancel the milliliters, and I'm left with the unit that I wanted, which is teaspoons. Working my way with the numbers, I have 10 times a 4 with a 5 in the denominator. So I need to compute 10 times 4 divided by 5. This is teaspoons. Well, that gives me 40 divided by 5, which is 8, or 8 teaspoons.